They say true greatness isn't measured by stats, but by the lives you impact when no one's watching. Long after the buzzer stopped sounding, he kept showing up, funding health clinics for families who couldn't afford care, donating millions to racial justice, disaster relief, and kids' education, quietly granting over 300 wishes for children battling terminal illness, and then dropping $10 million on his 60th birthday to make sure the next generation would be covered too. No press tour, no social media flex, just action. Who does that? Before the world knew him as the man who made defenders look silly and the NBA look easy, he was already moving different, built different, a killer on the court, but a giver off of it, a ghost in the streets, and a god in the paint. You know the sneakers, you've heard the stories, but you don't know the full story. Not like this, so hit that like button if you're already feeling the goosebumps. And let's step into the world of a man who turned his name into a brand, his brand into an empire, and his legend into something untouchable. Let's talk about Michael Jeffrey Jordan. Born in Brooklyn but raised in Wilmington, MJ's first big loss wasn't in the NBA. It was in high school. He got cut from the varsity team as a sophomore. Think about that. The guy who'd later dominate the NBA couldn't make the cut at 15, but instead of sulking, he turned it into fuel. He grinded, outworked everyone, and came back like a different animal. In 1981, he took his talents to the University of North Carolina under legendary coach Dean Smith. And then, boom, 1982 NCAA championship. Jordan, just a freshman, hits the game-winning jumper against Patrick Ewing's Georgetown. That was the moment the world first heard the name Michael Jordan and thought, wait, who is this guy? (1984), the NBA draft. Hakeem Olajuwon went number 1. Sam Bowie went number 2. And at number 3, the Chicago Bulls snagged Jordan. Let's just say Portland's still regretting that one. In his rookie season, Jordan averaged 28.2 points, was named Rookie of the Year, and made the Bulls must-watch TV. You could feel it. The energy, the swagger, the take-no-prisoners style. It wasn't just basketball. It was a full-on Jordan show. By the late 80s, MJ wasn't just a player. He was a one-man highlight reel. Scoring titles, racking them up. Dunk contests, dominating them. That iconic free throw line dunk in '88, legendary. And then the playoffs, 1986 versus Boston. Jordan dropped 63 points on Larry Bird's Celtics. Bird literally said, "That was God disguised as Michael Jordan." That's not a quote, that's a mic drop. But despite all the stats, the Bulls kept running into a wall. The Pistons had a special playbook just for Jordan, literally called the Jordan Rules. They bullied him, hacked him, pushed him around, and beat him. So MJ did what MJ does. He adapted. He hit the weight room, added muscle, refined his game, and came back a different beast. In 1991, it all paid off. Jordan finally beat Detroit, made it to the finals, and took down Magic Johnson's Lakers. 1 ring and counting. Then came 1992 versus the Blazers and 1993 versus the Suns. A three-peat. Jordan was now the guy. Global icon, NBA king, and still just getting started. In 1993, Jordan's father, James, was murdered. Devastated, MJ stepped away from the game. He stunned the sports world by retiring at age 30 and switching sports to baseball. He signed with the Chicago White Sox organization and suited up for the Birmingham Barons in AA. Was he elite? But the work ethic, the hustle, the grind, always Jordan. March 18th, 1995. 2 words, a fact. I'm back. The world went nuts. MJ returned to the Bulls wearing number 45. And while they didn't win that year, it was clear the GOAT was warming up. The very next season, 1996, the Bulls went 72-10 and won the title. One of the greatest teams ever, then another ring in 97 and another in 98. The 1997 flu game, playing sick, dropping 38 in the finals, iconic. The 1998 last shot, a crossover, a jumper, a dagger over Byron Russell to win ring number 6, that's not just basketball history, that's mythology. Jordan retired again in 99, but in 2001, at age 38, he returned, this time with the Washington Wizards. Was he the same? Number. But even in his late 30s, he dropped 51 points in a game and became the oldest player to score 40+. It was less about winning now and more about reminding people, this is what greatness looks like. Fast forward to 2020. Quarantine, empty gyms, and then The Last Dance hits Netflix. 10 episodes of raw, unfiltered Jordan. The trash talk, the fights, the pain, the greatness. Michael Jordan didn't stop making history when he hung up his sneakers. He just turned them into a global empire. It all started with the Air Jordan brand, launched with Nike in 1984. What was once a banned sneaker is now a global style icon. By 2024, Air Jordan was pulling in $7 billion annually for Nike, with Jordan himself earning over $150 million a year. But MJ didn't stop with sneakers. He became a billionaire mogul. In 2010, he bought the Charlotte Hornets for $275 million. In 2023, he sold his majority stake for around $3 billion. That's not a win, that's a blowout. He's also co-owner of 23X Racing in NASCAR, backing Bubba Wallace. He co-founded Cincoro Tequila, a premium brand that's now winning awards. And he's got investments in DraftKings, Gatorade, car dealerships, real estate, and yes, even Michael Jordan's steakhouse. On the court, he was a killer. Off the court, a brand, a businessman, a blueprint. Off the court, giving back. Michael Jordan wasn't just a force on the hardwood. He's been just as powerful off the court too. While he's not the loudest about it, and over the years he's donated over $100 million to causes that actually change lives. Start with the Make-A-Wish Foundation. MJ's been granting wishes for over 30 years. Literally hundreds of them. In 2023, to celebrate his 60th birthday, he dropped a $10 million donation, the largest individual gift in the foundation's history, to create an endowment and ensure more kids' dreams come true for years to come. Then there are the Michael Jordan Family Medical Clinics, fully funded by Jordan himself, serving the uninsured and underinsured in his home state of North Carolina. So far, he's opened 4 clinics, offering free care, checkups, mental health services, and more to communities that desperately need it. And he's kept going. Donations to the Boys and Girls Clubs of America, the Special Olympics, and the UNCF or College Fund show that Jordan doesn't just show up for the highlight. At the end of the day, greatness isn't just about rings or records, it's about impact. And Michael Jordan? He's still making plays, just in a different arena now. Jordan didn't just dominate, he did it through some fierce rivalries. Magic Johnson? Their 1991 final showdown was more a passing of the torch than a long rivalry. MJ's Bulls took down Magic's Lakers, signaling the end of Showtime and the start of Jordan's reign. Larry Bird? The respect was real. After Jordan's 63-point explosion in the '86 playoffs, Isaiah Thomas and the Bad Boy Pistons, now that was war. Detroit beat down Jordan with the Jordan rules for years, and when he finally swept them in '91, They walked off the court without shaking hands. Clyde Drexler was hyped as MJ's equal in '92. That didn't last long. Jordan torched him in the finals and settled the debate quickly. Reggie Miller, a constant thorn in MJ's side. Their 1998 Eastern Conference Finals went to 7 brutal games. Reggie talked, pushed, hit big shots, but Jordan always had the last word. Then there's Kobe Bryant. Less a rival, more a mirror. Kobe chased MJ's greatness with every move. Jordan saw it, respected it, and mentored him. Their bond was real and deeply personal. Look, you can throw out the LeBron comparisons, the rings versus longevity debates, the advanced stats, the clutch metrics, but here's what stands out. Jordan never lost in the finals, never needed a Game 7, was 6 for 6 with 6 finals MVPs. He redefined dominance and did it with unmatched swagger. For many fans, especially those who watched him live, he's not just the GOAT, he's the standard. Michael Jordan wasn't just the best basketball player. He was the blueprint. He changed how the game is played, how it's watched, how it's marketed, and how greatness is defined. And whether you grew up watching him in the '90s or discovered him through The Last Dance, one thing is clear: there will never be another Michael Jordan. Like this video? Drop a comment with your favorite MJ moment, hit that like button like it's Game 6, and don't forget to subscribe for more epic sports stories. Until next time, keep ballin'.